This recorded session is meant to introduce to you what is needed to plan, prepare, and present a Microsoft Teams live event, as well as point you to resources that are available. Live events are a great way for a few people to present content to a large audience, while keeping audience participation focused on viewing the material and asking questions via the chat. My name is Tina Ham. I am the Training Coordinator for Information Technology. I'm looking forward to sharing this information with you. I've been with the college for over 12 years, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I hope to give you information that will make planning a Teams live event much easier and less intimidating. I have a lot to show you today. Rest assured, additional resources are available for you to use when planning your Teams live event. I am happy to say Information Technology is willing to help you if needed. Make sure you check early for availability and discuss with them how much assistance you will be requiring. Maybe you need them to schedule or produce your event. Or, if your department is small, maybe a moderator is needed for the Q&A session. We're here to help you. Just ask, but ask early. You may already be pretty familiar with using Microsoft Teams for meetings, but let me tell you some specifics. A Microsoft Teams meeting will allow up to 250 participants. It is designed to foster collaboration and communication. That means all attendees have the same permissions of when they can talk, when they can screen share, that sort of thing. In a Teams live event, you have few presenters. Few people can talk or present their screen, and it's set in a structured, formatted type of content. Most of the participants are attendees and not collaborators, and they're set for their permissions to allow to watch. In a Microsoft Teams meeting, anyone can use the desktop app, web, or mobile app, a tablet, a phone, a mobile device, or a computer. With a live event, presenters and producers must use the desktop app, and they must use a computer, a laptop, or a desktop. So these are just a few of the differences. As you can see, the live team event puts the power behind the presentation, leaving the audience just to sit back and enjoy the show. This is a slimmed-down version of the timeline that is included in the Teams live event planning guide. You have access to the planning guide, including a detailed timeline, by visiting our training page, training.cfc.edu. A timeline will assist in the planning of the event and help things stay on track. I know 4 to 6 weeks seems like a long time to prepare, but when you're working with multiple people's schedules, time really can go quickly. As we move through the information today, it will become clear why more time is needed when planning an event like this. Let's discuss the key roles for a live event. First, you have an organizer. The organizer creates the event, designates the producers or presenters, sets the attendee permissions, selects a production method, configures event options like a Q&A, invites attendees, and manages the reports generated after the event is over. The next important role in a live event is the producer. The producer plays a huge part in how the event is presented to the audience. The producer starts and stops the live event, shares their own or a presenter's video, allows the system audio for a presenter in case they have a narrated presentation, shares active desktops or windows, and selects how and when the content is presented to the audience. Next up is the presenter. The key role of a presenter is that they provide audio, video, and a presentation or recording, and may even include sharing their desktop or a screen. They could also moderate the Q&A chat session. It is possible for someone to have more than one key role in a live event. For example, an organizer could also be a producer or a presenter. Or a producer could also be a presenter. Keep in mind, though, if the event allows the Q&A session for the audience, designate at least one moderator with the producer or presenter role to be dedicated to answering, publishing, or even deleting a question if needed, so that all questions are addressed during the live event. The last role in a live event is an attendee. They're the viewer. The viewer watches the live event either anonymously or after they authenticate, and if the permissions allowed it, they can participate in the Q&A. It is possible to create a link to the recording of a live event so that individuals may view it at a later time. Now that you know about the key roles and the part that each one plays, it gives you a different perspective to a live Teams event that you've attended, like a town hall, doesn't it? Let's take a look at how you schedule a live Teams event. This screenshot shows where you would navigate in Microsoft Teams. I'm sure you've seen it if you use Teams for meetings or projects or initiatives that you're working on. Maybe you've wondered about it. Open Teams, either in the desktop app or the web version. Select Calendar from the left. If you don't see the calendar icon, click on the ellipsis. That's the 3 horizontal dots. That should bring it available to you. Next, click the plus sign by the new meeting in the top right-hand corner. Instead of clicking Schedule a Meeting like you may have done before, click on Live Event. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We still have lots of decisions to make. Start planning way before scheduling the event. 4 to 6 weeks out at least, even more if it's possible. Work with the team, maybe members from your department or others across campus, or even just individuals that want to help you get the same message out. Decisions like who is going to schedule the event. That person is the organizer and a producer by default. The organizer can name other producers, and there can be more than one. Make sure you provide information about the event, the date, the start time, the end time, and more information. Add the presenters and the producers in the line provided. You can change someone from a producer to a presenter or from a presenter to a producer easily by clicking on the drop-down arrow by their name. Make sure you add all the presenters and all the producers before you go on to the next screen. When you get to this screen in the scheduling process, you only have a few more things to decide before the event is actually scheduled. One of which is the event permissions, or who would be allowed to view the event. You have 3 choices. You have people in groups that are specific, meaning you send the individuals the link to the live event. You have org-wide, which is the default setting, and public. So let's look at those 3 options and see if I can help you discern which option is the best for you. Well, the people in groups are very specific. Maybe it's members of your department or members of a team of a project, and you definitely want them to have access to the live event. Then you would send those individuals the link and set it to where they would have the permissions to be able to view the event. Now, org-wide is anybody within your organization that would be viewing the event. So it's not so specific as sending each individual a link. Maybe you're putting it on a web page or a mass email or something like that. Org-wide is the default, and it is the best one to use if most of the people that are viewing your live event or that would attend your live event would be part of an organization, and they would be able to authenticate to get to that access. And then the last option is the public, which means anybody would be able to view it. They don't have to authenticate to the network, so there's not a required sign-in. Basically, they click on the link maybe from a web page and view the event. After you determine who you want to view the event and which is the best group to choose when you're creating those live event permissions, then the next choices that you need to make are whether or not you would use Teams to produce the event. Basically, that just means, do you want the Teams application to use the tools that are already set in place by Microsoft behind the event itself to produce and make the video available? And really, it's a service that we're already paying for with our Microsoft license. So that is a smart choice by using Microsoft Teams. Now, you can also count on some of the other permissions that are built in, like the presenters would be able to screen share or share their audio as long as they use Teams to produce the event. And you'll have recordings and reports that are only available to you if you use Microsoft Teams. So you save money, you utilize available reports, and the presenters have more control over what they're able to share with the audience. Those are the best reasons why you would want to use Microsoft Teams rather than an external app. So your other question that you would need is whether or not you would allow the questions and answers. And remember, the attendees or the watchers will only have that avenue to ask questions or to get further clarification, and it's a chat type format. So if you don't allow the question and answers, you're not giving the attendees, or the watchers, if you will, a way to communicate with the presenters. So before we click the schedule button, let's discuss the things that have happened this far. You worked with the team to decide specific information about the live event. Those decisions included the date and time and other details. The producers and presenters were decided and added. If any reports, translations, or additional languages would be available. The audience was defined, and if you would include the Q&A chat sessions for the audience. Teams is the recommended application to produce the event, but departments might have alternative applications. Remember, using Teams makes it possible to have additional resources. Okay, let's click the schedule button and see the next screen. There are a few things that happen automatically when you click schedule. An email is sent to all producers and presenters that were defined. If you add a producer or presenter from this point on, additional links will be sent to anyone with a key role to the event, even if they were not a new producer or presenter. This creates multiple calendar invites and could cause a great deal of confusion. A separate link is created for the attendees. It is located at the top of the window, as indicated here. Make sure to copy that link for the web pages or communications to the attendees so they can use it to access the live event. When the producers or presenters are ready to join the scheduled event, they can use the link in their Outlook or their Teams calendar. Practice sessions for the producers and the presenters, as well as the Q&A moderators, are crucial for a polished Teams live event. It's not enough to plan, designate, prepare presentations, and speaker order. Producers and presenters need to practice the event several times like it is the real thing. The next screen I have for you is the producer's view of a live event. When producers or presenters use the Join button, the permissions are set to bring them into the live event behind the scenes. That's why it's important to make sure that you only use the attendee link for the members of the audience. This screenshot was after the event started. I'll get into more in that in a minute. And right before the content, or what the attendees will see, has been sent live. Again, I'll explain more about that soon. There's a lot to look at, so let me explain what you're seeing. Starting from the top left, you have the familiar Office 365 icons that are in Teams. They're the same, they function the same way. The dot to the top left is the recording indicator. All team live events are recorded and could be made available later. You'll see the progress for the time of the event, how many attendees there are. The next indicator will show you whether you are live or pre-live. There's a help button for Microsoft Articles for more information. Next is the leave button in case for some reason you need to leave the event. You may be familiar with a few of the next icons on the top right, but let me finish off that top row. You can check the status of the network, view the Q&A, see meeting notes, and as a presenter or producer, you have a chat function that attendees will not see. This makes it easier to communicate behind the scenes. Finishing up the icon thread on the top right, you can see how many people accepted the invitation to the event, and the settings icon so you can verify that you're using the correct camera and audio, and additional information about the event. That was a lot of information, but like I said earlier, if you use Teams any at all, some of it should be familiar. Now, I bet you're wondering what the two large boxes taking up most of the screen is all about. Well, let's dive in and I'll tell you more about it. The queue is on the left. I like to call it the on deck. Anything in the queue box has the potential to be pushed or sent live. I say potential because until the producer clicks on the Send Live button, it stays right where it is. How does it get to the queue box? I'm glad you asked that. Content is sent to the queue when the producer selects it from what is available, shown below both the queue and the live boxes. It could be a webcam connection to a presenter, a desktop or screen share from a producer or a presenter. There's limited space on that top row for content choices, so the producer may need to scroll down to see all the available information. This screenshot only shows two options, a webcam and a desktop. You don't see the start button now. Instead, it's the end button because I already started the event. Remember, you can only start and stop one time. When you click the end button, the event is over. As far as sending the content live, it takes a few minutes to complete the connection to send it. It takes time for content to change, and there's a slight delay in producing. Beware, the audio starts first, so if you're doing a countdown, the audience might hear it. You might want to think about creating a greeting slide to send live in the very beginning. It's a nice way to welcome attendees and reassure them that they have connected properly. The audience will only see what is sent live, but they may hear all conversations from producers and presenters unless their microphones are muted. That's why the chat behind the scenes is so important. The event has started, and the first content, in this case it's a desktop screen share, has been sent live. That's why you see the same thing in both the queue and the live boxes. Remember the info on that top row? Well, now the recording dot is red, and the indicator that was yellow before and showing pre-live is also red and shows that you are live. In fact, I really like how there's a strong distinction between what is live and what is not. Anything red is live. The start, the end button, the event indicator, the live box, even the selected content below the queue and live boxes that is live is outlined in red. Those are great visual cues. While the current information is sent live, the producer would then select the next content and put it in the queue box, so it's ready to be sent live when it's time. At the beginning of the live event, before it is started, the producer can check a box to allow system audio for the presenters. You want to include system audio if a presenter has a narrated PowerPoint or content like a video file. Otherwise, the audio will not be available. Have you ever watched those old-time black and white silent movies? Have all presenters muted unless they're speaking. Their microphones will pick up all background noise and discussions if their microphone is on. Have all presenters leave their webcams on even though they're not presenting at the time. It takes a while for cameras to reconnect to the event. Only the content in the live box will be viewed by the audience or the attendees. When the presenters are ready, click and send live. Again, the content can be a webcam showing a presenter or content, maybe a desktop screen or a PowerPoint or presentation, a short movie clip. Remember that 10 to 20 second delay. The producer has a lot of control over the look, feel, and progress of the event. Practicing is vital for a successful event. Practice like it's real. Have several practice sessions. And remember, start and stop only when it's time. And so the process continues until the end of the event. The producer has just a little bit more control that I haven't mentioned yet. The producer can change how the content is viewed by the attendees. There are two options: content only, like what you see on this slide, and content left, which would include the content and a webcam connection to the presenter. The view is changed by using the icons below the cue box that looks like a cell phone turned to landscape. If you use Teams to produce the event, you have some resources available to you after the event has ended. Access the Teams calendar. Open Microsoft Teams either from portal.office.com on the web or use the desktop app. Look for the event on the calendar and click to open it. Click the drop-down by Live Event Resources. Or, if you access it through Outlook, find the event, double-click to open it, then scroll down and click the link that states Manage Live Event Resources. Keep in mind, some of the resources are only available if you selected them when you scheduled the event. You can't decide to have other languages or have transcripts if you didn't make those selections earlier. Download the desired available resources by clicking on the download button. You'll then be able to save them in locations available to others as needed. For example, a Microsoft Teams or a Teams channel. Or you may want to publish the video to a YouTube channel or a web page so that others will have easy access. Any of the reports you download will be in the form of an Excel or CSV file. The attendee report will include when someone joined and left the event, as well as what browser they used. Microsoft Teams has made it pretty simple to access data about your live event. So that's the ins and outs of a Microsoft Teams live event. Just plan ahead. Remember to include all of the producers and presenters, allow additional resources when you schedule the event, prepare the producers and presenters by holding some test events, and practice those good communication skills. Refer to this video as often as you like, and the live event planning guide available on our training page takes it step by step. Thank you for watching the Introduction to Microsoft Teams live events. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or would like additional information. The Microsoft Teams Planning Guide and other Microsoft Office 365 applications supporting documents are available on the training page, training.cfc.edu. During the training, I spoke of the IT Service Desk and provided their contact information. In case you need it again, one way to reach out to them is on the web in the self-service portal, help.cfc.edu. Microsoft has additional web articles and short videos about live events, support.office.com. Make sure you follow Information Technology on social media. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at CFCIT and on Instagram at CFC_IT. Thanks for watching. Keep watching College of Charleston Information Technology on YouTube for more videos. Until next time, have a great day.